You must have seen this video.
Oh, well, you know, I've heard some things about it. Basically, a video came out showing that a 70-year-old nurse was arrested for taking her 92-year-old mother out of a care home without the care home's permission, because, as you know, old people are the property of somebody. They're not at all individuals. The police swooped in and arrested the mother, the daughter of the senior lady, put her in the back of the police car whilst her daughter filmed the whole thing. They then took the old lady back to the care home. Now, on Twitter, someone's been going on to me about, you know, denial of liberty orders, and she assaulted a care worker staff by pushing past her. I don't know that that's assault. But here's the thing. We're being coldly logical here. These people have not been allowed to see their mother properly for 9 months. 9 months they've not been able to embrace their mother and grandmother. She's deteriorating. She's getting worse. What would you do? Well, use the proper channels. And 6 months later, she could be dead, and you're still no closer to seeing her. I get it. They want the mum at home. Now, wouldn't anyone reasonable have got the social services maybe involved, had a chat, let them get home, have a cup of tea, talk about it? No. Please swoop in, arrest everyone, and drag the old dear back to the care home. Because we're property. We are property now. We are all on our fucking knees. Here in the UK, we've gone into a full national lockdown, except not quite the same as the last one, because the main areas of alleged infection, and I say alleged because the PCR test is shit. I don't deny COVID-19 is a thing. I do not. I have real problems with the data that we get. And a test that's not fit for fucking purpose. The fact that on the news they say died with COVID. Never of. Anyway, we've gone into a full national lockdown. They're putting in new amendments to existing laws to enforce their lockdowns now. Whereas there was wriggle room before by saying, well, I don't agree. And you didn't get a fine from the police. The police can't fine you. They can give you a fixed penalty notice. The courts can fine you. The courts didn't actually really fine anybody. That will now change. We're told where we can eat, where we can sleep, who we can see, what we can talk to, who can come in our own fucking homes. We're being totally ruled. And the best move by the government is the fact that people are invested in this now. So if you question it at all, you're basically David Icke, who is banned now on all major platforms. We are on our fucking knees, begging to be punished more. Here in the UK, the government gave out templates for employers of people in key services, so that if they are stopped by the police, they can produce their papers. The fuck was that? The police can stop you and tell you to produce your papers, that you are allowed to be anywhere. Dentists are remaining open, that's quite nice.
Thank fuck.
Yes. Schools, universities, gyms are shut. Everything fun, shut. Takeaways still acceptable, unless you're in Wales, in which case everything fun. Wales has turned into East Germany. If it's not compulsory, you can't have it. That's how it works there. And we're just eating this shit up. We're letting them do this and supporting it. As we mentioned when Drone Tech was on, when we had the Black Lives Matter protest, the police took the fucking knee. When it's Extinction Rebellion, it's all move along, move along. The minute someone gets there going, I'm not sure about all this lockdown shit, fuck you, get home, £10,000 fine. And people are going, very good. Very good. Because we're fucking slaves, we're cattle. We're just cattle that belong to other people. And you say to them, but what about all the people dying from cancer because they're not getting the treatment? Well, it's because of COVID overflowing the beds. It's not, as Graham pointed out earlier. The COVID beds are full. That's because there's 5 of them. All the other ICU beds are empty. What they will do is make another COVID bed. Well, then we'll run out of ICU beds. Not anytime soon. Less people are dying from it. More cases are arising because we're doing huge amounts of testing with a flawed test. Again, I'm not saying it isn't real. I am saying we've handled this incredibly badly with a government apparently fulfilling the wishes of people. Lock us down. Lock us in our homes. But give me my furlough. Oh, and make those working class people carry on working so I can order my stuff from Ocado, please. I can't possibly live without mung beans. And again, we're in the same situation where it's not a national lockdown. It's middle class people hiding at home while working class people make sure they're fed and watered. That's all it is. And they'll come out of this lockdown. The numbers will rise again. They will blame the poor and common people and then demand another lockdown. See, this lockdown's supposed to last 4 weeks, which is December the 2nd. 4 weeks. The Chancellor of the Exchequer announced this evening that furlough will be carried on until March. Now, furlough is, of course, where the government pay 80% of your wages. Why March? So one commentator said, well, it's going to take a while for business to get back. Yeah, but if there's no lockdown, there's no furlough. Can't have furlough if there's no lockdown, right? I mean, each week of lockdown in the UK costs us £14 billion. Lives destroyed, lives lost, mental health issues, people not getting treated for cancers, for strokes, for heart attacks. Never mind just not getting the treatments that they need, the tests that they need because we've gone crazy for this fucking COVID. So then they say, well, what's the answer? Well, if I had the answer, I wouldn't be sat here doing this, would I? I'd probably actually, I'd be called a crackpot by the national newspapers. But I'm pretty sure the answer isn't what we're doing. Maybe we have to just protect the vulnerable. Maybe that's just all we have to do. And crack on. Let people live. Not just let people work. Let them socialise. Let them drink and eat. Because most people are asymptomatic. And yes, some people will die. COVID will kill some young people. But so will aspirin. So will a bus. So will lightning. So will the cork from a champagne bottle. We accept that there is risk in life. Human beings, this is not new to us. Viruses, diseases, all kinds of shit happens. You can't hide from it. So now in Liverpool, they're going to test everyone in Liverpool and possibly use the troops to help out. Can't wait to see the troops on the street.
What you just said is what got David Icke banned from Twitter.
Yeah,
exactly what you just said.
But it's true.
They're
the
BBC
using them
said
to
it
help distribute the vaccine. Yeah. I think he might have given a different idea. But it is true that they're looking at the logistics of it, which they'll use the troops because it's a massive operation. But they're still using a flawed test. So they'll test everyone in Liverpool and go, fucking hell, look at the numbers! It's crawling with coronavirus. And even if we come out of this lockdown, I can guarantee Manchester will remain in Tier 3, which is pretty much the same as lockdown. We're not doing anything, and now they've given us a crumb of hope. I think it's Oxford. I've said that the vaccine could be ready just before Christmas. But we're only going to give it to the old and vulnerable first. You know, the people we can afford to see killed by a vaccine. I don't know. I don't know, guys, but whatever it is we're doing it fucking wrong. You're supposed to die on your feet, not your fucking knees. Even if they made it a choice, you know? Even if they just made it a choice. All right, stay at home and furlough. Or crack on. I'd crack on. I've spoke to my parents. They know that we can't go down there in the minute. I can leave stuff at the door that's been wiped down. That's cool. They can see my son through the fucking window, which is heartbreaking because my son adores his grandparents. remember the first week we were allowed back, Graham, we went in and we stayed about an hour and a half. There's not a lot for him to do there. He just sat with his grandma and grandpa.
He's touching base, though, isn't it? There's that
Well, I
feeling.
said it's time to go. He said, can we stay? Just a bit longer. I was like, yeah, of course. Another hour. Not doing anything, just staying with his grandparents, giving them a hug. And it's a damn shame. And this is repeated all up and down the land. There are people dying right now because of a lockdown. Right now. We don't have the figures for those. The inquests may not happen for years, if at all. I know they're being looked at, but I don't know if it'll happen. So what about all those people that are dying right now, not from COVID? Apparently, fuck them. Fuck them. Angela Rayner, who I spoke about a couple of weeks ago on the show, she was complaining about not caring for people dying. I didn't even respond.
Yeah,
What's
no.
the point? What's the point? Just going to unplug these headphones. I can hear through them.
It's funny as well. Do you remember that report you sent me yesterday? The legit government on the Parliament website, where they were looking at the pesky issue of human rights in terms of mandatory vaccinations. And I know I've seen it. I've seen it in Australia and the various places that have been talking about mandatory vaccinations, but we didn't have it here. But it turns out that yes, what they will do is they will section you under the Mental Health Act of 1983 and then be able to just give it to you by force, apparently.
From that paper, if you read through most of it, I'm sure you did, the main thrust is mandatory vaccination may not in and of itself be a human rights abuse, but only if you combine it with incarceration does it become a human rights abuse. So the clever answer from these people, and this is on, by the way, we'll dig it out and put the link in.
Yeah, it's a legit Parliament.uk
this is
thing.
on Parliament. It was passed to me by John. Is it John Stone? He's away in the chat somewhere. He said, "Is this real?" And it's like, "Yeah. This is real." And we read it. So, if it's mandatory and they incarcerate you, it's an abuse of your human rights. But it's got to be mandatory. But they're going to make it a choice, and the choice is you have it, or you won't be allowed to do anything. That's not an abuse of your human rights because it's a choice, Graham. You might not be allowed in shops, venues, travel, but that's okay because it was your choice. That was a creepy paper, that one.
Yeah, we've got John in caps there in the thing saying that they're illegal, check out international law. But that's what the government are doing right now.
That's why they're doing it, John.
Nothing's against the law. You just have to twist it which way you want.
Well, look how they
don't
work
you?
that. This is not mandatory. You don't have to have it. I mean, you can't go on a plane or a bus or a train or in certain places, but you don't have to have it.
You see, I want the vaccine, but if it was to be brought in like that, that would put me in mind of refusing it.
Yeah.
That would put me in mind of like, no. I'm going to be one of the people.
When lockdown first started, like the social distancing. I'm quite happy not sitting next to people. I'm quite happy being distanced from people. I'm quite happy being at home.
Yeah.
But the minute they tell me I've got to, I wanted to run out into the streets hugging strangers.
I'd just love to be able to take my daughter, who's already had fucking coronavirus at this point, and consensually spend time with other people who also consent to the same thing. It'd be fucking amazing. Because after, 8 months now we're coming up to, she doesn't give a fuck about. I give her a new video game. She doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't want to sit there on Switch.
Hates the coronavirus.
She's done with it.
He complains about it, but yeah, it's we're going down a very, very dark path in the West, and none of you watching this in whatever country you're in, you won't be safe. People say the US will never go that route. Poland would never go that route.
You know what, man? Trump ain't right, and he's not great with the way he's handled coronavirus. There's been plenty of mistakes.
I think he's their only hope of not going down this route.
But yeah, if Biden gets in, fuck off. You're
if
done,
Biden
mate.
gets
You're
in,
done.
you fuckers are in the camps.
I almost want Biden to get in just so that they'll know, just so that they'll find out the shit, because he's all about lockdowns, man.
Oh yeah. You'll be locked down. It'll cost America $200 billion a week, something like that, to be locked down.
And that Paris the Paris Agreement for climate change.
Or you'll be signing straight up for that,
just
which
watch,
directly punishes the American people.
Yeah. Just watch all your jobs go to China. Jesus Christ, you're going to get fucked in the ass. No more steel in America. The oil, goodbye, all of that shit, man.
Yeah. It's bad news coming.
So I almost want it to happen.
But Orange Man bad.
The Orange Man is bad. He's very rude sometimes, isn't he?
He's very rude.
He's very rude.
But it is strange, all these people that will say, I want Biden in, but I'm not doing lockdown. Got news for you, and it's all fucking bad. He loves the idea of lockdown. He thinks it's sexy. He can't spell it at the moment, but he really likes the idea of it. Sleepy Joe. Imagine having to choose between those two fucking people. Oh, I thought we had it bad. Just, do you want Donald Trump, or do you want this poor old man that needs to go back to bed? He needs to go back to bed. And now they've got him in all the videos, haven't they? Jogging. Running to the podium. It looks like they've just shoved this poor old man. Run, you bastard! Oh, it breaks out. It's a shame. Or it would be a shame if he wasn't a 47-year veteran of career politics, which means he's a fucking snake anyway. They all are. All of them. I love the way Trump is a reprehensible man in many, many ways. Gave spawn to dreadful children. But how is he measurably worse than any of the people that lie to you all the time for 47 fucking years, making promises they never really keep? Not in any meaningful way. It's all bullshit, you know. Yeah, I suppose the same as that when people go, Trump will drain the swamp. Why? He's a fucking alligator. Why would he want to drain the swamp? It's all bullshit. All of it's all bollocks. And, you know, a lockdown on Bonfire Night. In fact, this is the last thing we're going to talk about this evening.